Bakshi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to speak on first reading of Overseas Investment Owning of Our Rural Land Amendment Bill under the name of Honourable Phil Goff, which we are opposing. We want our economy to grow, to be productive, to be internationally competitive. All this bill does is to suppress all our plans. Mr. Speaker, as my colleague Melissa Lee mentioned, that Honourable Phil Goff is well recognized in the ethnic community, and we see him on a number of occasions, and we attend a number of events together every weekend. I don't understand how Mr. Phil Goff is going to face the ethnic community tomorrow if I have to believe the rumors that he is going to stand for the mayorship. That what this bill is doing is that his worship, how he is going to convince the ethnic community that he was not stopping them to bring overseas investment. It is very important for us to have overseas investment, direct investment, so that we can have greater economic benefits for this country, which will help in growth of jobs, increase in wages, and increase our GDP. Mr. Speaker, this bill is unfair to the foreign investors. According to this bill, they will be required to show that they would bring more benefits than the New Zealander buyer. We have already ensured that the New Zealand's sensitive assets are adequately protected, and in fact, we are already restricted when it comes to foreign investment in the land. Each year, the amount of rural land approved for sale to the foreign investors is less than the half what it was under the previous Labour government. Mr. Speaker, let me highlight some of the important benefits that the foreign direct investments bring to our country. First, it drives the growth in wages, employment, and output. Profits generated by foreign direct investment contributes to corporate tax revenues in the host country. It allows transfer of technology, and it helps promoting competition in the domestic input market. Foreign direct investment is source of capital to supplement New Zealand's domestic savings. We are looking at the ways to embarrass foreign investors, and this bill is going to drive our valuable investors away, and which we don't want to do. Mr. Speaker, Labour itself was responsible for the sale of some of the main big chunks of land during their regime. And just now when my colleague was speaking, and Honourable David Parker was trying to say that they rejected many such proposals during their regime, but he could not number, and in fact it is zero. Mr. Speaker, National knows the importance of the balancing the benefits of international investment with protecting the New Zealanders' estate for current as well as future generations. We already have some strict criteria which it comes to approving the applicant, and we do not believe in rejecting the potential investor on the basis of the country he or she belongs to. One more thing needs to be clarified, Mr. Speaker, that any investment done in any land in New Zealand doesn't mean that they will pack up the land and take with them to their own home country. The overseas investors need to apply to Overseas Investment Office for consent to purchase sensitive New Zealand assets. According to this bill, if there is no New Zealander buyer who wants to buy the particular asset, the foreign investor still needs to show how much benefit they are going to bring to the country. How our economy is going to grow if we are going to put such restrictions on the foreign investors? Mr. Speaker, this bill risks preventing the sale of some of the rural land to foreigners that would create jobs and will benefit to the New Zealand. We have been able to strike a balance between ensuring New Zealand remains open to businesses with the rest of the world to support jobs and higher incomes, and also tightening the rules for the overseas investment in sensitive lands. Mr. Speaker, I oppose this bill.
Mr. Speaker.
I call Fletcher